At 81, Diana Ross lives in a world most fans would never recognize. In 2002, the world saw her mug shot after a DUI arrest that revealed blood alcohol levels twice the legal limit. But that public humiliation was just the beginning. Her brother was found murdered in Detroit. Her fairy tale marriage ended when she learned about her separation on live TV. The legendary star who gave us countless hits now battles demons that fame couldn't fix. Today, we're uncovering the heartbreaking truth about how Diana Ross really lives. Diana Ross' story began with a simple mistake that shaped her entire life. She was born on March 26, 1944 in Detroit, Michigan. Her parents named her Diane Ernestine Earl Ross, but when the birth certificate was typed up, it said Diana instead of Diane. It was just a small clerical error, but it changed everything. Diana kept the name. It had a certain grace and power that seemed to fit her future perfectly. The name Diana Ross would soon be seen on more than 100 million records, magazine covers all over the world, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Diana herself often laughed at how this tiny accident became her identity. Some even believed it was fate, as if that name was always meant for the girl who would become the queen of Motown. Diana's childhood was shaped by the place where she lived and the people around her. Her house at 635 Belmont Street was in Detroit's North End. Right next door lived a boy who would one day be a Motown legend, too. William Smokey Robinson. The two families were close. Diana and Smokey would play and sing together, not knowing that both of them would one day become famous. They shared dreams of making it big. Those childhood moments turned into a deep friendship that lasted for years. Later, when they were both stars, they even had a secret romance hidden from the world. Growing up in that neighborhood, surrounded by music and struggle, gave them both the fire they needed to succeed. But Diana's early years weren't easy. When she was 7, her world fell apart. Her mother, Ernestine, became very sick with tuberculosis. In those days, that illness was often deadly. Diana and her siblings had to leave their home and move to Bessemer, Alabama to live with relatives. It was a painful time. She was far from her parents and everything familiar. The fear of losing her mother stayed with her, but instead of breaking her, it made her stronger. She learned to face hardship head-on, and that strength stayed with her as she chased her dreams. On her 14th birthday in 1958, her family moved into the Brewster Douglas housing projects. These were tough places. The buildings were crowded. Crime and poverty were part of daily life. But for Diana, the projects became a place where ambition was born. She looked around and knew she had to escape, had to aim higher. And she wasn't alone. Other kids in the projects, like Florence Ballard and Mary Wilson, shared the same dream. They would soon join her on the road to stardom. The tough world around them pushed them to work harder, sing better, and never give up. By 1959, Diana was just 15 years old, but already thinking big. That year, she joined Mary Wilson, Florence Ballard, and Betty Clone to form the Primes. They wanted to be the female version of the Primes, the group that would later become the Temptations. These girls were fearless. They practiced for hours, sang at talent shows, and even sneaked into the Fox Theater to watch the stars perform. They soaked up every note, every move. They wanted success, and they were ready to fight for it. In 1960, they took their chance. They went to Berry Gordy at Motown Records and asked for a deal. Gordy saw their talent, but told them to come back after finishing high school. Many would have quit, but not Diana and her friends. They kept singing, kept pushing. They recorded a single for a small label and kept knocking on Motown's door. Diana even waited for hours at Hitsville, USA, hoping Gordy would listen. And in January 1961, their hard work paid off. Gordy signed them. It was the start of something huge. But there was one more change. Gordy didn't like the name The Primates. He asked for new ideas. The girls made a list, but Gordy chose the Supremes. Diana didn't like it at first. She thought it sounded too fancy, but soon that name became legendary. In March 1961, they released their first single as The Supremes. Success didn't come right away, but by 1964, they had their first #1 hit, Where Did Our Love Go? The name, the group, and Diana herself became part of American music history. In August 1964, the Supremes were still struggling. People at Motown had even started calling them the No-Hit Supremes because they had already released 8 singles that went nowhere. But everything changed when they recorded a song that almost wasn't theirs at all. Where Did Our Love Go shot to the top of the Billboard Hot 100. It stayed at #1 for 2 weeks from August 16th to August 29th. What makes this so surprising is that the song was first offered to another Motown group, the Marvels. They thought it was corny and said no. The Supremes didn't want it either. Even Mary Wilson tried to turn it down, but Motown gave them no choice. The simple beat, helped by the sound of Motown's effects man Mike Valvano stomping his feet, made it catchy. That song changed everything. It gave them their first #1 hit. It was the start of 5 #1s in a row. It made Diana Ross the star of the group. It helped Motown prove it could create crossover stars. The song became so important that it was later ranked among Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs of all time. It was even added to the National Recording Registry to be saved for future generations. From that moment, the Supremes became unstoppable. Between 1964 and 1969, they reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 a total of 12 times. No American girl group had ever done that before. It all started with Where Did Our Love Go? The hits kept coming: Baby Love, Come See About Me, Stop in the Name of Love, and You Can't Hurry Love. During those years, only the Beatles sold more records. The Supremes managed to get at least one #1 song every single year. Even as they competed with the British invasion, they sold more than 46 million singles, with 34 million of those sold in the US alone. The 5 #1s in a row set a record for girl groups. They weren't just making music, they were breaking barriers. At a time when America was fighting